at Fox and got all of these texts and stuff about all of this Colin Kaepernick stuff and all this stuff. Let me explain something to you guys, all right? I'm going to be very simple with this. While a bunch of people are talking about this man, Cap, let me tell you something, brother. I pray for you more than you've ever can imagine, all right? Your name is in my Bible. That God gives you the vision that you did. I applaud you for the things that you stood up for. My brother, everybody else can speak for you, but until you speak for yourself and demand what you want to do in life, it's totally on you. But it's almost crazy that you see people always trying to respond. Let me tell you something, my man. I've made mistakes in my life, but I promise you, if you look at my track record, the mistakes I've made, I've never repeated twice. You understand? And so what I want to tell you is, from man to man, brother, I ain't got nothing against you. I wish you the best in life. I hope you chase whatever God got for you to chase, all right? And once again, I applaud what you stood up for, because I'm in the streets every day. So while people talking about what this and why Ray said this, why Ray said that, Ray ain't saying nothing. And if people really want to help you, if they really want to help you, man, they'll pray for you, brother. All right, they'll lead you the right way and stop encouraging you to be caught up in some of this nonsense. The battles you fighting, brother, people way before us been fighting these for many, many, many years. And that's why I take each and every one of these kids, and that's why I take them away from their environments and give them something else to see in life. And that's why I played the way I played. The football field is our sanctuary. If you do nothing else, young man, get back on the football field and let your play speak for itself. And what you do off the field, don't let too many people know, because they're going to judge you anyway, no matter what you do, no matter if it's good or bad. All right? Cap, be good. Take care of yourself. Brother for life. A lot of people talking for you. A lot of people got your back.
That was a video Ray Lewis posted to Twitter yesterday. Ray joins us now. Welcome, Ray.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Ray, what did you hope to accomplish with that video?
Yeah, honestly, Joy, when you sit back and you listen to so many people talk, you realize that a lot of people talk, men and women, and prayer changes all things, all things. And when you hear people talking about this kid, they're talking about him like he's an item, but he's a man. That's a young kid who's going through a trying time, and we talk about him like he's another track number. And you hear all these people talking about him, and Colin followed his heart. But sometimes you have to redirect your heart to make sure it aligns with your principles. Because if it aligns with your principles, then you'll understand that this platform that you have, God created this platform even in the presence of your enemies. So while people are talking, the only way you prove people wrong, I lived it, is you get back on the field and you let brothers speak for you. You let teammates speak for you. You let everybody else speak for you. But you take your platform. And the reason why I went so hard in the game, Skip, I went so hard because I wanted to give people hope that you can find yourself in something and keep going. That you don't have to be crucified by everybody and believe everything that they say about you. And it's a good friend told me this before. He said, Ray, you got a big heart, and you're always trying to help all these people. He said, make all the money you want to make, and then help whoever you want to help. So my message yesterday was simple to him. Get back on the field. Do whatever you got to do to get back on the field and let your God-given ability speak for you. My message was really clear yesterday. And because I don't want to keep talking about this kid like he's an item, because this is this kid's life. And I kind of know what it feels like when everybody got your name in their mouth, but nobody knows facts. Nobody knows your heart. Nobody knows why you really took a real stand for certain things in life. And I think if he does nothing else, I want him to get his fire back again, right? And get away from listening to all of these people who have so much to say. My mother taught me this long time ago. She said, you can put your trust in no man, but you must put all of your trust in God. And if you want to make stands like this, you got to know that
God does things in decent and in order. And if you go in order with how you do things in life, then you would never jeopardize the platform. That's where our sanctuary is. And that's basically what my message was. My message was really clear to him because I'm a father. But not just a father, Skip. I counsel so many young men. And I'm counseling them to understand the difference between their brand and their identities. Because sometimes we risk the brand because we want to chase a certain identity. But the brand takes mama out of the hood. The brand takes care of grandmother. And that's what you got to protect. So my message is come from a heartfelt place, man, because I see all of this noise being said about him, but nobody knows that I don't know how much sleep he's getting at night. I just don't.
When Skip gave me the opportunity to talk about Colin Kaepernick, I really thought this was going to be a one-time thing. And then Skip just said, no, you need to expand. You need to talk more about it. So I really appreciate Skip giving me this opportunity. See, I'm confused on two levels, and not just by yours, Ray. You said you've made mistakes, but you've never made the same mistake twice. So you believe, or do you believe that what Colin Kaepernick did was a mistake?
No. And see, that's where I think people don't understand. Because of, I know what I did or didn't do.
Right.
But everybody was speaking for me as if they knew I did something.
Well, he didn't have, because he took the action, everybody saw what he did, so he didn't have to speak or not speak.
Well, regardless of if everybody saw it or not, Shay, even if everybody saw something, that's what makes magicians so tricky, because they can make the eye see one thing and then you say, how did you do that? But you never know the bottom line.
So you want, I think a lot of people want to know, when did this epiphany happen, Colin? When did you realize that this was also your calling, not only to play quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers in the National Football League, but when did this happen? Where were you? What occurred? How did it occur? When did it occur? Is that, you believe he needs to reveal that?
To himself, because if he does, then he'll know what his fight is. So when I started to go in the hoods and really do the things that I do in the hoods, I started that in 1996. But nobody knew what I was doing in the hoods. Nobody knew that I was actually going in the hoods and paying for row houses and buying people clothes on the streets and taking all of these kids and just feeding them something to eat. I used to go to Baltimore from 1996, 7, all the way through my whole career. And I used to just take, and you can go through Baltimore and ask the questions. I used to take bags of money and I used to just feed them and clothe them. But nobody knew that.
Well, see, the thing that I'm trying to wrap my mind around is that he hasn't. I mean, he took the knee. I mean, think about it. And I'm not going to get off track, but I just want to touch on this. Steve Bisciotti said that he's Catholic and they pray a lot. Colin Kaepernick took a knee. That's the way you come before the Lord. You say the Lord, you mentioned that a lot. You humble. You humble yourself before him. So he even humbled himself before the flag. That still wasn't enough. And for me, he not only did the talk, the man gave $1 million out of his own pocket, 60,000 pounds of food to the victim of Somalia in East Africa that the famine and the drought had struck. He did that. He passed out suits because he knows how hard it is for a convicted felon to get a job because they don't normally have the best attire. And they're already up against it because once they find out they're a convicted felon, I'm not hiring you. But he cleaned them up. He's going into the neighborhoods. See, we say, okay, no.
So he done his job then. So he's done his job.
No, but see, you keep,
right?
But here's the thing, Ray. You said, okay, there have been a lot of people that was fighting this battle way before you. You could never you've never have enough soldiers to fight a battle. Who goes into a war and says, you know what? We got a limit on how many guys we can go fight.
But you never, and this will never change. In business, you never jeopardize the core.
What is he? Skip.
Your core is what you do on the football field.
He can't get on the field, though, Suge.
Which is what, just listen to my message clearly. That's why, stop confusing my message. Don't confuse it. The message is simple. I'm asking Colin, whatever you want to do, let everybody else talk. But Colin Kaepernick needs to be back on the field. That's it. You can take it and run with it any way you want to run with it. My last words about this is, I would like to see this kid back on the field. Everybody's talking about him. You talking about him. Everybody talking about him. Y'all all got opinions. But you don't have an opinion until you actually are the person. Hello.
Let's hear from Skip real quick.
Go ahead.
This is deep and this is tricky, but I want both of you to know how much I respect your heart and your heart, because they're good hearts. You, Shannon Sharp, have been as passionate and powerful on this theme as you could ever be on any theme in your life. In fact, I think you've been at least as powerful as Colin Kaepernick has been publicly when he has spoken about a theme that desperately needed to be addressed. And I'm proud that you've addressed it day after day after day on this show. And I'm proud of Colin Kaepernick, as you are too, because the first thing you said was, I applaud what you stood up for. And it took guts. And he risked his career to stand up and become the face of a movement to make white policemen in this country aware of the fact that the black community is not going to sit or stand quietly
Right.
while white policemen are shooting unarmed black men and women or people of color. And I believe Colin Kaepernick has had dramatic national impact on that. I also believe your heart's good. You have God in your heart. And I think I know enough to know I buy it. It's authentic. It's legit. Because I've been around you enough to know you walk your talk. And I think you genuinely care for and fear for Colin, because he has become the face of a very controversial movement. And you can argue he's put himself in harm's way with the rest of his career. So I think you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, that at some point you can't fight the battle any more than you fought it. And you had the line about, and again, you went to all the way to this nonsense. It's not nonsense. That probably was, to me, that maybe is the wrong choice of words. But you want to say, this battle you're fighting, brother, people way before us have been fighting it for many, many, many years. God knows that's the truth. So I think you're saying, don't fight it to the point you lose your platform, because you do need your platform. And I've said that before. You need somehow to preserve who you are and what God made you to be. He's a young man in the prime of his career. I made the case. I think he's been better the last 4 years than even Joe Flacco has been. So he deserves a job somewhere in this league, clearly.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Has Tim Tebow lost his platform, although he was out of the NFL?
It's not quite as big as it was.
But he still has that platform. You see, what the problem is that, and the thing is, Ray, I think this will be a great opportunity, because
Time out though. Tim's platform is Christianity's platform. It's huge. It's been there for thousands of years. So again, he just stands for that.
And I'm cool with that. But a lot of these people that are killing these unarmed black and brown men and women are Christians, Skip.
Well, okay.
And they don't. And my thing. But that's my point. But my thing is, Skip. Look at Baltimore. 63% of the population are African American. This will be a great opportunity for Steve Bisciotti to say, you know what, Baltimore? We support you. We got your back. This happened right there in that very community. Ray, see, when you keep going into these impoverished neighborhoods, you're preaching to the choir. You need to go give some of that to the congregation, to those well-off, wealthy white men. See, we keep having this conversation amongst blacks. We need white people to hear this, to listen, not just hear, to listen to us and to help this cause. I don't care. Colin Kaepernick could throw 50 touchdowns. But until prominent white men in America join in like they did during the civil rights movement, Ray, I don't care how much you speak, and they keep asking. They always say black folks pray. See, black folks have to pray, but they listen to rich folks and white folks. But black folks need to pray. All prayer. Prayer, God, come on now. I'm not saying stop praying, but I'm saying we need to ask others. We need people to have empathy. See, people have empathy for cancer patients because maybe a wife or a sister or a mother have suffered from that deadly disease. Autism, because we know parents that have that, so they have a personal and intimate knowledge. But it takes a person with empathy that's not in that position, that might not face that, to have compassion, to say, you know what? There's a great chance I will never have this happen to me. But to see what they're going through in America, contrary to what you think, if you're in America, these are American citizens. They're black. And we need to show compassion to them, like we showed the tsunami victims in Asia, like we show everybody else. Show compassion for the black and brown men and women in this country.
I can't not disagree. Prayer will always be my foundation, and to help these communities that you're talking about helping, that's why I went to Kevin Plank and brought the last 3 weeks almost 250 kids from the ghetto and brought them out to Sagamore to see a sunset, to see that the grass is green, to see that you don't have to go home to violence every day. Bro, I'm in the streets. I get it. Trayvon Martin was killed. I took my sons. I walked the streets for that. Freddie Gray, I took a stand for Freddie Gray. Mike Brown, I went to Ferguson and created jobs. This is what I do. And all I'm telling you is I hear you. And I'm screaming the same thing. Like, get in these urban neighborhoods, get in these black communities and help us figure this out. Because right now, Shay, we're not figuring it out. And that's why I'm saying I don't want to get away from the topic. The topic is, what I was trying to say yesterday was simple. I want to see this kid use his platform that God gave him. And if you want to rally. I sat up under Jim Brown for almost 10 years. I sat up under the forefathers for many years, asking them, how do you attack this? And he told me, just be ready for a fight. Because we've been fighting this fight a long time. So I applaud everything you stand for. You know that. But until we get back to getting this kid on the football field, I fear if we'll have a voice again.
We'll have to leave it there. Have the Steelers figured out how to beat Tom Brady? We'll debate that next.